Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hope you all are doing well. Hope your families are doing well and everybody's safe and sound. Today we're going to read Flat Stanley. Chapter 1. Stanley Lamb Chop and his younger brother Arthur were sitting on the couch at home. Arthur held a world map open on his lap and a pencil in his hand. How about here? He said, twirling the pencil in the air and then poking the map with the eraser. Stanley looked at the spot. He shook his head. I don't think so, he said. That place is in the middle of the ocean. Arthur looked down at the map and sighed. Okay then, he said. How about... He twirled the pencil and poked the map again. Here! Stanley smiled. That's Canada, he told Arthur. We've been there before, remember? The brothers were trying to pick a place to go for a family trip, but they were having a hard time. In most families, Stanley knew the kids did not get to choose where their family went on vacation, but his family was not like most families. That was because Stanley was not like most kids. Stanley, in fact, was one of a kind. One day, a bulletin board had fallen off his bedroom wall and left him as flat as a piece of paper. This made some things hard for Stanley. He had to admit, sometimes clothes did not fit him, and he had to make sure he did not blow away on a windy day. But being flat also had made him famous, and he was famous, the lamb chop that had traveled all over the world. Stanley and his family had already visited almost every continent. They had seen a lot of the United States from San Francisco to New York City. They had seen a lot of the world from an African plains to the Australian outback. They had gone on many special tours and even on secret missions. But that only made it harder to choose where they would go next. This is it, said Arthur. He closed his eyes, twirled his pencil one last time, and when it landed, the eraser made a little dent on the map. Right on the lamb chop's hometown. We can't take a trip there, Stanley pointed out. We're already there right now. Arthur threw his pencil down and folded his arms in frustration. Then, what are we going to do? He grumbled. There had to be another way, Stanley thought. Why don't we make a list, he suggested. Of the places we want to visit, Arthur asked. No, Stanley said. Let's make a list of the things we would like to do on our trip. Once we know what we want to do, we can figure out where we can do those things. Stanley stood up and ran to his room and grabbed a notebook and pencil. He sat back down next to Arthur and gave him an example. I would like to go swimming, he said. So, we should take a place that's near an ocean or a lake. Oh, said Arthur, I'd like to go swimming too. I would also like to ride a roller coaster. Good, Stanley said, taking notes. I would like to climb a mountain. I would like to eat the world's best ice cream. The brothers continued going back and forth, listening to their ideas. Stanley wanted to scuba dive. Arthur wanted to see a circus. Stanley wanted to stay at a big hotel. Arthur wanted to buy a funny t-shirt. Stanley kept writing in his notebook, and the list just grew and grew and grew, until he had 2 pages of ideas. That was when he realized something. I think we have a problem, he told his brother. What if there isn't a place where we could do all these things? Arthur sat back in his couch. Do we have to start all over, he said. Stanley got up and walked around the living room. He stood in front of the bookshelf and looked for ideas. His family did not have any books about great vacations, or at least not about great vacations they could take in the future. They did have books about great vacations they had taken in the past. The family photo albums were right in the middle of the bookshelf. Stanley had an idea. I think we should make another list, he told his brother. Not again, Arthur complained. Not the same kind of list, Stanley promised. Let's look through our old pictures and make a list of the best parts of all those trips. Whatever worked well before will help us figure out what to do next. He handed Arthur a thick photo album, ready for a trip down memory lane. Alright guys, we're going to stop there. We'll pick up chapter 2 next week. I don't want to bore you guys. In about 5 minutes I'm going to return. I'm going to go over some simple multiplication, just to jog our memory a little bit and stay in the present. Alright guys, see you soon.